life literacy is going to be a 5-book series. And I guess the last thing I would say before we start taking your questions is I know many of you have asked, what's going to happen next? What will I do after the Heroes of Olympus? You may have heard rumors. It is true. Next up, I'm going Norse. But it's really about, for me, going back to the very beginning. Like I told you guys, I really cut my teeth as a reader of the Lord of the Rings and Norse mythology. So this is going back to the very beginning of mythology. Norse is probably my favorite set of stories, even more than the Greek. I love Norse mythology. And finally, after so many years, I'll get to write my own series. What can I tell you? Not too much yet. It's really, really early. I can tell you that it will be the Norse gods in the modern world, like we have with the Greek and the Egyptian series. I can tell you that Norse mythology does have the concept of demigods. They did believe that mortal children could have godly parents. So you could have, like for instance, a demigod son, just like Thor or Odin or Loki. And now I understand that you asked a pre-selected question. Like, do you want to tell us how that's going to go?
Okay, then starts. How awesome was that?
Stop breathing.
There's a microphone right here. I have 6 kids that I'm going to call up to ask their questions that they already wrote on the next card. You don't have to raise your hands, I have the cards. But I need all the people that are sitting right here to part like the Red Sea. I will call you up to the microphone. I'm going to call all 6 up. I'm going to say your full name, hopefully correctly, and your age. Line up, and then you can take your turns asking questions. So, Camila Solis, age 13. Emily Mendez, age 11. Please don't get hurt trying to get up here. Sharon Hammer, age 14. Robert Wynn, 11 years old. Andrea Contreras, age 11. Rochelle Paisley, age 11.
I'll drown her. She's so mean. You should drown her. You should slay her. Ew. She's the one in the purple. If you're only girl, she's trying to get it. Hurry! Turn around!
What tips would you give kids?
Right now, you're going to window.
Yeah.
Get mine too.
Tips for writing notes. It's a long answer. If you want a lot of detailed advice, you can go to my website, which is just my name, rickriordan.com. I have an entire section called Advice for Writers. You can get advice on writing dialogue, plotting your book, how do I submit something for publication, how do I do
I think they're getting the books first.
apology, how do I write there's a lot of everything. Short answer, 3 things you have to remember. If you want to be a writer, number 1, you got to read a lot. I think probably a lot of you already do that. But the reason is you have to do that so you figure out what kind of story you like and what works for you as a reader. Second thing you got to do, write a little bit every day. Writing is like a sport. You only get better if you practice. You have to build up your writing muscles. So write whatever.
or students you've taught, especially Leo?
Leo, yes. Most of the characters in my books are not based on any one particular person. Often what I do is I imagine them as students in my classroom. I just sort of make them up, but I've known so many kids over the years as a teacher that I'm usually able to make them, I hope, pretty realistic. Now there are some evil math teacher.